Welcome to Backyard Gardening Australia. Today I will take you through our garden for our November garden update and show you how everything is going and growing. The Geisha girls have started to flower and are producing these massive shoots up the top, in which we need to get pruned down as soon as possible. Canterbury bells are flowering away madly, filling this garden out nicely. Lots of other little dotted colours and flowers around the place. Mexican blueberry bush, which we bought this year, is doing very well, and there are some nice flowers at the back. We have never eaten these before, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. The donut peaches are starting to swell nicely now. Looking forward to eating them this year. These salvia tricolours will also need a good pruning back very soon for a second, and see if we can get a third flush of flowers out of them. Cornflowers are flowering away wildly. Just pruned all of our calendulas back and hopefully get another flush out of them. There's a heap of young seedlings in there as well. These salvias have gone wild as well, and after this flowering I will prune them right back. Tamarillo is also flowering away again. All of the roses up on the back wall here all need a good pruning back. Our ice cream bean tree has plenty of new shoots on it, so it'd be great to see this with some dense foliage soon. We also have on the olive tree some little olives. Flowering pea wall is starting to look quite stunning. We have a couple of quinces set on our tree. Apples are also starting to set on the Red Delicious, and apples on the Granny Smith as well. A little apple on our new Granny Smith that we planted this year. New tamarillos are looking quite nice and doing quite well, even though I've just noticed there's something been eating their leaves. I would say snails. Passion fruit vines are starting to take on and starting to climb. I just got some more compost or mulch in here yesterday, and I need to spread it out still. The feijoa has finished flowering. It'll be interesting to see if we get any fruit this year from it. The dragon fruit has gone bonkers. I have not seen any flower buds yet. I also have not seen any spears coming out of our bananas. I was hoping maybe for a banana flower this year, but we'll see what happens. The first pumpkin and corn patch has gone wild. As you can see, we have started to set on a couple of pumpkins around the place. The corn also has started to flower, and you can see the other end of the flower down there. Within a couple of weeks we'll be eating corn. The strawberry patch is producing plenty of strawberries at the moment. Asparagus bed has gone wild as well. During the week I set up this temporary 30% shade cloth shelter over my veggie beds. It's temporary because next year we will be shifting it, but everything is doing great in there. We have got carrots and beetroot. They are loving the extra shade. We are now starting to eat zucchinis every couple of days. We've got a good producing of them. Beetroot are growing very well. We picked this row of beetroot the other day, and the fennel here is growing well. Looking forward to trying that with some pork. Oh, and spotto, I need to pick that. And our tomato plants, I managed to get and tie them all up yesterday. Had a bit of a mishap, however, with this first tomato plant, and I managed to snap its stem, or split its stem. So I've done another video about that, but I've put a pot around it and increased the soil height. Our Thornton raspberry has flowers for the first time. We have never seen this flower, so I'm so glad to see it, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes from here on out. Our San Marzano tomatoes are doing well. They are all tied up, as you can see. I do use a bit of a different method here. It is just purely a piece of insect mesh, and you support them around the outside. Our heritage raspberries are doing great as well. Look at the amount of flowers on this young berry. Can't wait to be eating them. Our Trombonicas pumpkins are starting to climb everywhere as well, which would be great. I'll let them just take over this whole area. Our passion fruit vine starting to flower. Looking forward to some passion fruit again. Eggplants starting to get some nice leaves on them. Basil suffering here has just been transplanted. And this eggplant looking nice as well. Plenty of flowers on our yellow cherry guava. It looks like it's going to be absolutely loaded with fruit. Elephant garlic has started to flower. Probably another month or two and that will be ready to be picked. Our purple king runner beans are starting to climb. One of them has taken off, the rest are a bit slower. And this choco is starting to climb everywhere as well. Planted another 60 corn as well the other day, which these will go into the aquaponics. A couple of tomatoes left, which are going to Nina's garden. Some more flowers, beetroot and basil. Took some more cuttings from our sweet potatoes. Now we have about 12 slips in general. And then a bunch more seedlings down here and more cuttings. Yesterday I strung up our tomato tomatoes and gave them a prune. They're not quite at the stage of needing to be tied up. Need to have a look into this pepino a little bit, but there's something a little bit sad about it. But it has some pepinos on and I would like to take some cuttings from it as well to grow a few more. Blueberry season is definitely here. There's nothing in this aquaponics bed at the moment, but it will be planted out with corn. Starting to pick cucumbers now as well. Plenty of them. Another one in the back there. Eggplants are looking a bit sad on the leaves, so need to give them a bit of a foliar feed. This tomato's starting to take off, and the beans at the back there are starting to climb. Little NFT system starting to kick along well. Still learning about NFT, and this is a test anyway, so we'll see how it all goes. We have started tying up our tomatoes, as you can see, and we're starting to get our first few tomatoes on. Our strawberry towers are doing well and looking good, and as you can see, we are starting to have strawberries or tomatoes in there as well. This bed here needs a good planting out. I'm thinking about mainly herbs and lettuces in this bed. Our yellow raspberry also has plenty of fruit on it as well. None which are quite ripe enough yet though. And plenty of flowers on the rest of our berries as well. Sorry for the wind and the blurriness. The citrus is also coming along well nicely, and I think it's a Washington maple over there, has got some nice fruit on it. Overall, I'm happy with how our garden patch is coming along this year. It's doing amazing actually. I was looking at pictures of our pumpkins the other day and realizing that it was nearly Christmas time before they had even started to really run, and we are only just in November now and the pumpkins are starting to move along and produce pumpkins, which means we'll probably get a lot more pumpkins this year. And our tomatoes also are way ahead of schedule compared to how they were last year, which is brilliant because I'm looking forward to having more tomatoes to do more things with this year. Our fruit trees seem to be doing very well as well. Plenty of fruit this year, more than I've ever seen. I'm happy with how our berry plants are producing. Every year we try to improve what we're doing, so in every step we try to improve. We were just talking the other day about pre-planting, and I left it again too late to tie up a bunch of the tomatoes and split that tomato. And if I had started tying the tomatoes up earlier, that wouldn't have happened. So in the future we're just going to try and plan ahead, and jobs can become a large task if left for too long. So if you try and accomplish them little bit by little bit, sometimes it just can be easier.